Hello, this is Rob from Rims Models. This is my 6th update of the RYEFIELD Panther with the cutaway parts. So just before we start, I'd like to say a big thank you to all my subscribers, all your comments. Really do appreciate them all. Now here I'm just going to quickly go through the painting stage, and all it is just primering with Tamiya XF1, which is the black. So all the parts are done with that. I'm only just going to quickly show you. There's no need to show you every part being painted. Now this here is the buff, the XF57, which is going to be for my pre-shading. Just like to apologise about my hand being in the way as well. But I think I've got the camera angle sorted out now for the next one. So all I'm doing is just picking out some highlights for the pre-shading. And all I've done is just finned it about 50-50, I'd say, with Tamiya X20A. When you spray the white over the top, you can actually see the pre-shading coming through. Exactly the same. All the parts I've done are sprayed the same. Okay. So that's all I'm doing, just picking out the middles. Right, now here I'm going to mix the two together to make like an off-white. I'm not sure the ratio, I can't remember, but that's what you end up with. Now I've mixed it very thin as well, because you don't want to lose the pre-shading. And all you do is very lightly dust it. Don't go heavy, because it's really thinned as well. It'll run. So just keep working your way around. Nice light strokes. And just work it around, keep moving it so you're getting it from every angle. There's a little bit of a brush painting to do as well, a bit of detail painting. Now these colours I'm using, I've converted from the MIG into Tamiya. Exactly the same, the off-white. Well, you can, when you finish it, I don't know if you can make it out, but you can see the pre-shading coming through. Right, now this is the XF18, which is, I think it's the medium blue, I think it is. And exactly the same, I've just, that's straight out the job, just thinned. Very heavy, very light, heavily thinned. So when you're spraying over, you're not losing the pre-shading. Same again, keep working your way around. And what I've done little sub-assemblies as well. and then I'll show you in a bit of me fitting them. You actually see the parts being fitted. Right, this one now, I think it was a XF55. Again, this is the same colour as well. Right, so I've painted it all now. I'm just going to start on the weathering. So what I'm doing now is a filter. And that's all it is. It's like a really thinned oil. You can paintbrush it on, or as I'm doing, you can airbrush it. And it's just very lightly. And all I'm doing, I'm just giving it like a grimy look. Again, just keep moving it around, making sure you got it from all angles. So this is your first stage of the weathering. I went a bit heavy there, so all I'm doing, I'm just drying it with the air. There's no paint coming out of that. This one I found easier to airbrush, because to try and get in all them little bits, like them little places with a brush, can be quite difficult. You can buy your filters ready mixed as well. I just find it easy just to mix my own. So I just keep moving it around. Well, you can see the effect you try to get. So all I'm doing, nice light coats, and gradually build it up. Okay, so that's what you get when you're finished. And all I'm showing you there, it's had a couple of coats. I'll do 2 coats over it all, and the effect you're after is like a grimy, dirty look. Right, now we're going to do a ping wash now. So a bit of odourless thinner, and then we got a bit of Starship filth. Now I've done no clear coat here. This is going straight on top of the paint. The filter was left overnight to dry as well. So all I'm doing is just picking out all the detail, all the rivets and all the details, and all it does, it makes it pop out. Leave it to dry and then just clean it up. But the good thing is, because you've got the cutaway parts, you'll actually see quite a lot of this. Okay, so that's all I'm doing. You'll know as well you want this quite thin because you want it to run around the detail. So just keep picking up your detail. It really makes it pop out as well. And all you just let it dry for about a few minutes and it'll be ready for cleaning up then. And all I do is just put a bit of thinners in a little jar, little pot, get your brush, dip it in the thinners and then just pat it dry with a piece of towel and just clean it up. So there, that's all the details. But you can see how crisp now the detail, all the little detail parts are. Right, so what I'm doing here now is actually cleaning up what I've just done. And you just go around, get off as much as you can, but make sure you leave it around the detail. Make sure as well you don't use your best cutting mat for this because it does get really dirty. So all I'm doing, go around picking off all the excess. I mean, if you wanted to, you could leave it at this now because that's a really good effect. But I'll do a few more little bits. But that's basically the effect you're trying to get. Right, now we're going to do some streaking now. And these are the MIG oil brushes. They're really good. Great effect. I'm using it straight out the jar. I haven't added nothing to it. And all I'm doing is just putting little spots all the way around. And then get your brush and just run it down. Again, there's no clear coat gun on this. So all I'm doing off camera, I've got a little jar of odourless thinner and a bit of kitchen towel. Because you don't want the brush soaking, you just dip it in and then just dab it dry a little bit. and just pull it down. But remember to go from top to bottom, don't go across. You need to do it. Try and visualise which way it'd run. And then you take off, depending on what effect you want. If you want a really heavy weathered one or just a light one, you take it off how you want it. But you can't really tell at the moment, but when that dries it does look quite effective. So I'm still doing the same 3 colours. But if you want to see more videos of me actually going into more in depth of how I do these techniques, just let us know. But you can also you can do chipping as well if you want to do some chipping. Rust streaks, rust. Like I've got a couple of rust oil brushes. You got pigments as well. So just keep running it down, drying your brush as you go along. Just get a little clean, get some fresh thinners on it. Okay, so that's basically the effect you're trying to get. Right, so what I'm doing here now is a bit of speckling, and all I've done, I've just put a bit of oil, a bit of thinners mixed into the oil, and then just get your cocktail stick and just flick it on. So you can make out the effects. It's just a good way of getting some chipping. Right, so we're actually going to start assembling all the painted parts now. And basically where the parts meet on the painted parts, I'll just scrape it off with the knife, and then where I can glue them then and get a stronger fit. That end's not painted there because it'll be painted on from the outside. Okay, this, because I've painted this, it was a little bit tight fitting. So all I do, you don't see me doing this, I just scrape it a little bit with a knife, because you can't see it. Once it's in there, you can only see the top and the front anyway, and it just goes in a lot easier. But it does fit. Once I've scraped the paint off, it does fit. Alright, now we're just fitting the cupola, and there's like a little cutout, and there's a little pin on the the actual cupola itself, so you can line it up. There's still a few parts to glue on the outside of the turret yet, but I should completely finish it, gluing it together, and then I'll fit all the little parts on then. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I'm just showing you sanding off the paint down to the plastic, and then what I've done here, I use some masking fluid and I put it in the holes before I paint it. Do all your painting and that, and when you're finished you can just pull it out and then it leaves you with the clean plastic. Makes it, gives you a really strong bonding. When I was assembling all this, I've dry fitted it all, so I know it all fits well. And all this as well has been weathered exactly the same as I've done the turret. Again, just sanding off all the paint. It's a really beautiful fit, and all I do then, just run a bit of glue around it. Still fitting all the painted parts. There's a little bit of wire to scratch build, but I do that off camera. And the wire, it actually comes with a kit anyway. You get a little bit of wire like for your scratch building. So again, there's a little, where the belt is, there's a little pin on the one piece, and it all lines up really nice. There, that's what lines up. Well, just make sure you get this piece the right way up, and then it connects, the end of that connects to the other, that piece I just fitted. So all I do is a little dab of super glue just to hold it. Again, it all lines up beautifully. Right, this is one of the other chairs now I'm fitting. Now the chairs, what I've done, I painted it red leather first, which is the Vallejo 70818, and then all I've done then, I went on then with it was an orange, which is 70.981, and all I've done then, I just kept mixing it with thinners and just kept making it thin, like a little wash, just to get a little bit of a leather effect. This has got there's a little hole cut out and a little pin just to help you line it up, and then there's a little hole in the floor. We can see now the details really coming together now. Right, now we're on the actual turret ring. A couple of little sub assemblies to fit. Again, just two little holes and a couple of pins. Now I'm actually pulling the glue straight on the paint here, but you could do what I've been doing, just scrape it off. I mean, to paint all them fitted before you, and paint them all when it was all fitted as one, you really struggled with that. So sometimes it's just easy to paint them as a little sub assembly. Now this bar here was quite tricky to fit. It took me a couple of attempts. But make sure you get your right way, because it can fit both ways. And I've just scraped the paint off the end a little bit, because it was a bit tight fitting it in the hole. Even though it's only thin layers of paint, it can interfere with the fit. But once you get the one end in, it drops straight in then. Oh, there it goes. There's like a little cut out and it just drops on. Alright, so what we're doing now, we're going to fit the two halves together. And I've just scraped the paint off again where the surfaces meet. And the pin helps you locate it. And then there's two little holes on the front where the front bit drops into the holes. But off camera I just put a close peg on it just to hold it together. Now just going to glue the gun barrel and the upper turret together. I've scraped the paint off the surfaces. That just, you know, it just gives it a stronger bond. Again, the fit's beautiful. Right. So just careful with your gluing, because you don't want it to run underneath your fingers. The actual gun barrel's not finished yet. There's the muzzle brake to put on the end yet. I'll show you that in the next update. Right, so all I'm doing now, just offering the two parts together, glue it, and that's pretty much the turret finished, apart from the little bits outside. So again, big thank you. Really appreciate you all watching and commenting, and I'll catch you in the next update. Thank you.